And now we're going to learn a beautiful process of how to take a negative feeling, a negative emotion, and transform it into a blissful one. What we're going to do is I'm going to give you another process, and this is helping your client get to bliss, right? Get to feeling bliss. Now, that's not bad, is it? It's not a bad thing to do, is it? So, what the best way, I'll explain a little bit, and then I'm going to demonstrate it, and then you're going to practice it, okay? So, we all have shitty emotions that we feel. And I think if all of you think about it, there's probably one negative emotion. I don't want to use the word negative, just like a heavier emotion that you feel more than any other. You know, one emotion that tends to be the key negative emotion that you feel, okay? So what this process does, it takes you from a very, very low level emotion, one that you don't necessarily want to be in. And we're going to chunk up, and you're going to arrive at the bliss place, which is the nicest feeling that you can reach in your body, okay? And so that's the process. Now, what's the purpose of this process? The purpose of it is to show that when we're in a dark place, when we're in a dark emotion, we think that there's no escape. We think there's no way out of that. We think that we're stuck there. But this process actually shows you that you can very, very quickly go to another place, a much better place. It's always easier when you're being guided, but you can do this yourself as well. Okay? You can take yourself out of a bad place into an absolutely gorgeous place. Who wants to do that? I would imagine all of us, yeah? Who would like me? Jules, would you like to be my wonderful assistant? You don't have. Yes,
sure.
good.
Yeah, sure. I'm just answering your question.
I know you were, but then I thought, well, you put your hand up, so there you are. I take people's gestures seriously. Right. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, and what I'd like you to do, if you can, don't worry if you can't, is to pin Jules so that you can see Jules, okay? And if you want to pin me alongside, even better, but there we are. Okay. And by the way, for those, Catherine, you were talking about needing to record it. I'm recording this session. Everybody will get a record of the session. All right? So don't worry about having to, remember stuff. Jules. Good. So let me explain what this process is. We're gonna start with what we would call a base emotion, an emotion that perhaps you don't feel very comfortable feeling, and an emotion that you tend to find is the more common feeling, negative feeling that you have, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you, I'm going to guide you so that you can move up so high that you end up, when you're there, because it's a feeling of expansiveness, it's a feeling of bliss, of connection, okay? Are you willing to allow that to happen now?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
I see you've just contracted me in.
Contract, exactly. Okay, the hypnotic contract. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to do this in hypnosis because it's a hypnotic process. It's a hypnotic induction in and of itself. Okay, so Jules is going to go into hypnosis anyway. It's not possible to do it without. All right, Jules, so what I'd like you to do, and you can do this with your eyes closed or your eyes open, whatever you're more comfortable with. Just start and take a nice deep breath. Fill up your lungs. And then just clear that out, right? Leave yourself in a nice place. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to get in touch with a negative emotion, if we call it that. And we know that all emotions are positive, but a negative feeling emotion, or one that you're very familiar with, or one that kind of follows you around life. And what emotion would that be?
The feeling of being alone.
Okay. All right. So what I'd like you to do now, I'd like you to really feel that. I'd like you to notice where it is that you feel that feeling of being alone in your body. Notice the weight it has. Notice what it does to your physical as you feel that fully and completely. And as you continue to feel that feeling of being alone, I'd like you to imagine yourself kind of floating. And the analogy, if you're comfortable taking this analogy, is that, you know, when you're under the water in a swimming pool and your feet are on the bottom of the swimming pool and you're just about to push yourself up to the surface. Well, that's where I'd like you to find yourself as you feel this feeling of being alone. And in a moment, what I'm going to ask you to do is, in your mind's eye, is to push yourself off the bottom, up to the surface, through that emotion. And you're going to find yourself in another emotion, the emotion that's above that. And you'll find that it'll be a different emotion, because emotions are in layers. And so as you push yourself up and you come to the surface, you'll feel something else. And we're going to do that progressively until you reach a very beautiful place. But we may have to go through some other emotions first. And so, in your mind's eye, get ready. Push yourself off and push yourself up to the surface. Break through that feeling. And then just take a moment and find yourself in a new emotion. What is it that you're feeling now?
Isolation.
Okay. And just allow yourself to feel that isolation. Allow yourself to feel it, where it is in your body, how it feels, the weight that it carries. And as you feel that isolation, in your mind's eye, get ready to push yourself. And now, push yourself up through that feeling and above it into the next one. You take your time. Just notice, what is it that you're feeling now?
Withdrawal.
Okay. And just feel that withdrawal. Notice it in your body and understand what it is. We're going through the lower levels of emotion that lead us to the higher levels. And these are all the layers that we have that are over these emotions. But you're going to break through these. And so when you're ready, get ready to push off. Push yourself through that, through withdrawal and above that. And just notice where you are now. What is it that you're feeling now?
Just making a connection to those behaviours and those feelings to a sense of safety, like trying to keep myself safe.
Okay. Trying to keep yourself safe and that sense of safety. Okay. So just feel that sense of safety now. Notice what it's doing to your body. Notice where it is, the strength that it has. And this is a good place. Sense of safety. And so when you're ready now, you're going to push off the bottom. Do that now. Push off and break through safety into the next level above. And just notice where you are now and what it is that you're feeling.
Security.
Beautiful. And I want you just to enjoy that security. Enjoy how it feels. Notice how it feels. This is very important to you. And as you feel that fully and completely now, just understand that above this is something even more beautiful. And so when you're ready, push off up through security into the next level. That's right. And taking your time, just notice what's there. What is it you're feeling now?
Love.
Beautiful. And just notice how you feel love in the whole of your body, and really feel that now, fully and completely, Jules. Allow yourself to be bathed in that love. Notice how it feels in the body. Notice how it expands in the body. And as you feel that love fully and completely now, enjoying every moment of it, we're going to push through again when you're ready to the next level up. So do that now. Push through love, and into the next level up. And taking all the time that you need. Notice what's there. What are you feeling now?
Compassion and understanding.
Okay. And just enjoy that feeling. That's a beautiful place to be. Compassion, understanding. Allow that to fill you, to flow through you, to be you. And when you're ready, push off through compassion and understanding to an even higher level. And taking all the time you need, just notice what it is that's here. What is it? Where are you? What are you feeling?
Connection.
And really feel that connection now. And what is it that you're connected to?
Everything.
Beautiful. And you guide me. Do you get a sense that there's even more above this? Oh, you're happy here. There's more? Okay. But first, just enjoy that connection, Jules. That connection to everything. This is what we strive for. This is what we aim for. This is where we choose to be. Connected to everything, understanding everything. And now, when you're ready, push through that connection into the higher level. And as you arrive there, just allow yourself to sense and to feel, where are you now? What is this place?
Unity.
Can you say that word again?
Unity.
Unity.
Like no polarity, just a sense of unification.
Beautiful. And what does it feel like to be in unity? What does it do to you?
Complete.
And is that enough?
Yeah.
So you just enjoy that for a moment. I'm going to be quiet and you enjoy that complete, fully and completely. That's right. And what I'd like you to do now, feeling that complete, fully and completely, I'd like you to just become aware of that very first emotion that you felt, which was the feeling of being alone. Bring it to you, embrace it, heal it in this place of being complete. And notice what happens to that emotion as you bring it in and you embrace it in this place. Notice how it heals, how it transforms. Notice how that will affect everything. In the future, when you notice that feeling, but then you notice what it's linked to, where really that feeling always wanted to take you, to being complete, enough, everything. Because we can enjoy being alone, can we not?
I think that's the paradox, isn't it? So the feeling of alone is the paradox to knowing your completeness. You have to kind of feel alone to find the completeness within you. That's the paradox of it. So they actually go hand in hand.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so what I'd like you to do now is just to slowly begin to descend, bringing with you this completeness, and descend through all of the layers. And as you pass through the layers, heal. For all of those layers are valid, and they're valid feelings. But with that completeness, each layer can be healed, perfected, allowed, and come down through the layers, all the way back down to the very beginning, to that paradox. And stay in that place of alone and complete. And notice how that feels. And notice how nothing can ever be the same again. Because perceptions change. And as perceptions change, so changes our reality. Does it not? Exactly. And so, I ask your unconscious mind to give you the gift of allowing that feeling to stay with you and to come very often, to give you the gift of completeness, knowing you can return there any time that you wish. And so, gently and completely, bring yourself back to reality, but bring with you the feeling. Take all the time you need to come back. Welcome back. Well done. Excellent. You did a fantastic job. So do you need a little moment, or would you like to give us some feedback now, or do you want to take a moment?
That's okay. Yeah, I can speak.
Okay. So what was that experience like for you?
Thank you. Yeah, it was interesting. The words were coming. Just one word answers was just coming, and I didn't even know, because I had a sense of my conscious mind sort of starting to think, oh, I need to offer an answer here, but actually I don't know what to offer. And then when I just kind of moved that aside, it was just like these words were kind of coming through from within. And to begin with, when we were talking about aloneness and isolation, I just had this real powerful, I started to cry a little bit, and I had this real powerful tightness just above my heart and just below my throat. It was really like quite intense. And really quite uncomfortable. And then just through the process of going up the layers, it just dissipated and got less. And then I could feel like this expansion. I could feel my neck rising and the body changing a little bit. And then when you were talking about bringing the aloneness into the completeness, I kind of got a visual of my hand sort of scooping something up and just bringing it in, and it just sort of dissipated. It's almost like putting a drop of water into an already filled cup, like it just kind of just dissipated. And then when we were coming down through the layers, I could just feel them merging into this completeness that was just being absorbed by the completeness. So yeah, it's quite an amazing process, really.
Beautiful, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, super. Excellent. Well, thank you very much. And I appreciate being the volunteer. Now I'm going to open this up to the gallery. Right, before questions, we're going to pull this to bits before you do it. If you want the official line of what I just did there, right, what I did in terms of therapy, I created a very, very positive anchor, an emotional anchor in the person. That is by getting them up to this very high level feeling. You could feel it. Could you feel it in the you could see it in Jules. You could see it. Yeah. And then I took the negative anchor that she's very, very commonly used in her life, which is this loneliness, and I neutralized the anchor. So what happens with anchors, these emotional anchors, if you've got a negative anchor, what you have to do is create the opposite number, and then you bring them together and they neutralize. So you get rid of the anchor. So that's what I was doing on a very technical level, creating two anchors, a negative one, a positive one, and then putting them together. All right. However, that's not what I was doing. I mean, that's a lovely little side thing. No, that's a very beautiful, that's a very spiritual process, I believe. It's very handy. And it can change somebody's perception of what they're accustomed to feeling. Okay. So, right. Questions about that? Any questions that you want to ask about the process or what you were seeing or why I was doing something or what? Yes. Melissa.
Is that in the notes, that process?
I think it is. Let's have a look.
Okay.
Let's have a look.
I couldn't find it in my brief look.
Chunking up. Let's have a look. Let me see. A high level purpose. Now, working with the positive part. No, it isn't. I must have just invented it.
Yeah. Can I give you a name for it? It's called From Shit to Bliss.
From shit to bliss.
But isn't it here where it's like integrating the parts? I know in the script you've used two hands, but isn't that integrating the parts?
That's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. That's the official, the one, the parts therapy. But what I'm giving you here, I'm showing you
neutralizing
what chunking up is, right? Yeah. Because remember, this is a process you can use with your friends. And we use it all the time. There's friends feeling shitty and you give them some advice about, what are you doing? You're chunking them out of the shittiness. Don't worry. These things happen. These things happen for a reason. Come up. Oh, there's a reason why. Yeah. And, we learn so much from these things, and blah, blah, blah. That's what you're doing. You're chunking them out.